Chaz Bryant alongside the Bellator veteran, Mr. Joe Juggernaut Pacheco. I forgot your last name.
Yeah, I saw that.
For a quick second, I was like, who the hell am I talking to?
That hasn't changed for quite some time.
Well, I just want to make sure. Joe, a lot of eventful things here in Charlotte. We're not going to get on that because it's MMA time, and we'll get into more political stuff when the time comes. Very eventful. In terms of MMA here in Charlotte, we had a cancellation event. And if you ever follow this promotion, then you should not be surprised at all that they canceled. And it's one of the things that's really a big downfall in terms of MMA and the popularity, at least to me here in Charlotte, that this promotion again has canceled another event, postponed another event, on top of event had to be this spring that apparently worked something out, allegedly, and I don't want to get us in any sort of legal trouble, anything like that. They reworked the contract where the fighters apparently, allegedly, got paid only $1 or had bounce checks. That's just stupid. If you can't hold an event, why do it? If you don't have the money, the resources to do it.
That the why behind it.
Yeah.
You got me. I don't know. Considering the part that appalls me the most is the fact that you yourself, the promoter, you were an MMA fighter at one point in time. Back when MMA wasn't anywhere near as popular as it is now. Back when you maybe did get paid $1. And then you come back and you do this nonsense, and it blows my mind. I know a lot of the guys that fought on the card.
Or wanted to fight on. Well, if you're talking about the one in spring.
Yeah, the one in the spring with the bouncy ball checks and the dollar endorsement deals that they gave out. Yeah, that. It's atrocious, man. You can't sit there and... We talked about in the last one. It's not a cheap thing to train.
No.
People dedicate their lives, time to do this, and then you say, hey, man, here's $1.
And it should be, I'm trying to avoid the name of the promotion. If you have a fight night in the Carolinas, then hold up to that and make sure you're not, because you're right, like we touched on in the last podcast, there's not a lot of events going on here in the Carolinas, not a lot going on here in Charlotte right now. So why hurt the branding, the sport here by going out and doing something like that, where you're, just like you said, it really, I feel bad for the guys who are supposed to be on this card. Because I had a good friend of ours, Matty Probin, out there, who was going to, I believe, come down here and try to train. Somebody, I guess, is trying to get our attention, or just getting ready to protest out there, because I hear somebody honking their horn out there. But yeah, I wanted to see him again. I might not have gone to the show, because if you saw the prices for the tickets,
and they were getting away with it, saying it was charity.
Yeah,
its whole premises of this thing was it's charity.
No,
and then you have these prices that are high, absolutely, extremely high.
I looked on there just to humor myself while I was at work. The table cost, I believe, at the lowest were like $350, and then I think by the time last week rolled around, a week before they were going to have the show, the general admission was $100.
Oh yeah.
And then on the ticket, you know what it said?
What?
No refunds.
Of course, it's charity.
Yeah.
What charity was it going to? I don't know. Just some kids helping out their future.
The future of kids. It's just to go with some innocuous.
They have as much experience hosting or putting on a show as we do, like putting on this podcast.
You know what? But so far, our streak is going to be 2-0.
Absolutely.
Unless something happens on the way from here to work and then back to my apartment.
100% pull through.
Yeah.
Done. Already beat them.
And here we are with cheap. And that's the thing. I guess the venue might have been free. I don't want to start speculating.
Well, let's say it would have probably been at a discounted rate, considering there may have been probably some family time.
Yeah, and again, I don't want to. We don't want to start giving out misinformation out there, and like it's been going on the past week. But yeah, if you have, and I would think putting on an event, the biggest money sucker drainer would be getting a venue.
venue.
Yeah, nowhere you have it, even at the Civic Center, you know, a broken down Civic Center. I'm pretty sure there's some money costs going into that. But here you are at a discounted rate, maybe even free, and you can't pull off a
charitable
charitable. I don't even care if it's for profit. You know, if that money drain is not there for getting the venue, all your money should be going into one of the things I want to touch on in just a second is the marketing part of it. Getting reliable fighters, because you have enough of them here in Charlotte and around the Charlotte area. You know, if you're not promoting the event and doing some sort of goodwill, as I guess protesters are still trying to break in the gym here, or whatever the noises are.
Everybody wants to get in the lunatic.
Yeah, I guess.
Senseless plug.
I was waiting for it to come up. But yeah, that's my thing. If you can't, it should seem like a slam dunk to
easy.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't have been the first event they had at that venue.
Yeah.
They've had several events there. And then for all this build up for charitable donation, all these big names are thrown around. You're supposed to show up,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, you know, you don't get the biggest, the highest paid fighter there, and then all of a sudden, like 2 days, 3 days before, hey, we have to postpone.
Yeah.
Not even to a set date, just some random time next
Yeah.
year.
Because if I'm correct, when they said they were postponed was on Tuesday. I think I read it. Wednesday or Tuesday. Then, of course, all the stuff that happened in Charlotte came up. And then on Friday, I saw that due to civil unrest. I saw it on Tuesday morning. The incident, I believe what happened was Tuesday afternoon. And now, due to civil unrest on Friday, you can't.
No, they found a scapegoat.
Yep, and
Besides,
exactly what.
hey guys, sorry, we suck.
Yeah.
We can't put on the show correctly.
And that's what.
I don't understand why you agreed to fight for us.
Yeah. That's essentially what me and another buddy were talking about 2 weeks before, because we knew I should have took out a bet out in Vegas or something like that, because I knew it was going to be canceled due to,
when you're contacting random fighters to say, hey man, you got somebody that can fight your old teammate. What?
And this sort of leads me to what I was talking about in the marketing aspect of fighters. To me, if you're a amateur fighter coming up nowadays, and you have all the luxuries of free stuff coming up through Facebook, YouTube, it should seem like a pretty easy thing to do. You know, even if you're trying to get fighters or more fans, set up your own page as a fighter. You know, when you're not too older than I am, or I think we're around the same age. You know, a lot of the stuff, I don't want to say wasn't around, but 10 years ago wasn't as broad, I would say, to use it.
I had a pager in high school. Not a cell phone, not a smartphone.
I want to know why you had a pager in high school, though. What high school?
So somebody could page me 911.
Sure.
It might have been an emergency.
Yeah,
I might have been able to use a payphone to call someone.
Jesus. A payphone. Where are those located? Are those in museums now?
Yeah, basically.
But to me, especially if you're a pro fighter now and you're not using the free stuff, because we all know buying a camera, buying, expensive laptop, doing all this stuff, traveling around, being a pro fighter means you're actually working. You're usually working somewhere else. You're working at a big job. You could be a mechanic somewhere. You could be doing something else, not MMA related. Use the tools, to me, and the resources to go out there and market yourself. And some of the best fighters, they may not even be winning fighters with good records and have all the hype, but especially if you're local, use those resources to market yourself to forward your career.
That's the thought process. That's the only way you can get sponsorships. The sponsors only go out to people who can publicize themselves for a relatively cheap price.
Yeah.
So you have to put yourself out there, and I get it, and I do understand why guys want to fight for that promotion, because there's nothing going on in that area right now.
And promoters need to, even not in Carolinas, promoters need to do that themselves, promote their brand. Some of the best around the area as far as promoting the fighters and promoting the fights, you got Fight Lab, which is coming back, is pretty good about it, was pretty good about that. Conflict's very good about it.
Yeah.
Freedom Fighter down in South Carolina.
FFC?
Yeah, Freedom Fighter.
Yeah, that's right. It's short for
Yeah,
Freedom Fighter.
the acronyms and letters and all that stuff.
Yeah, that thing. it's a great show, and dude, they actually sent out like a little crew to actually watch and videotape some of it to actually add some build up to
Yeah.
it. So,
and you know, especially on my side, videotaping the whole part of it was, you know, the guys who do that have a good crew. You don't have to get top of the line equipment.
obviously,
And that's the thing. Whenever I'll search for, you know, I'll see XYZ who has a fight coming up or something like that, and I just want to check out who they're fighting for. You know, see, so I can see maybe later on if I can watch their fight later on down the road. I'll check out, you know, the promotion's Facebook page or YouTube page. Do they have one so I can watch, you know, Bobby Brown fight or something like that? And if you don't have that, you're shortchanging yourself and shortchanging the fighters, because people just want to see the fights.
oh, absolutely.
So they can see what kind of show you're putting on, you know.
It's sad to say, but you're absolutely right. It's absolutely
Oh, thanks for saying it's sad to say.
It is, man. Anytime you have a night of fights in the Carolinas, it's bad, man. It's bad. Just underlining. Yeah. They're trying to fly that one under the radar.
Yeah, and just like, you know, and a lot of these guys are going to pay websites, which is fine. But, you know, but you're...
They can't even pay their fighters, much less pay.
Yeah, well, especially that promotion, you know. I haven't seen one semi-professional, even a guy standing on top of a ladder,
No.
yeah, shoot something, and that's probably maybe an evidence thing more than anything else, because if you can't pay people. But there are good promotions out there in the Carolinas.
And guys, if a promotion has a history of, you know, non-ethical ways of handling business.
Yeah, I heard about it.
You definitely don't want to make your bed with that promotion, whether you're coming from out of state.
Well, who the hell knows if they're going to have an event?
Seriously. I have a friend of mine who's actually in Texas, and he was supposed to be fighting on the card, that fight night in Carolina.
Yeah.
And and
For the kids.
For the kids, you know, God bless the children. And he was talking about flying up here and being up here and staying around family and stuff like that. But how is he gonna get back if he was banking on that check, that show
big check?
Yeah, exactly. I'm just gonna have them pay me first. Yeah, good luck with that when you show up.
Yeah.
'Cause once you're there, you're there. It's not.
And now you're stuck.
Exactly.
Now you're stuck there, even if, you know.
And I've seen it run. I've seen the Chitlin circuit all the way to the big show, and even there's some lower circuits that are actually willing to pay for travel expenses.
Yeah.
That are willing to pay for med.
Well, even the Chitlin circuit had their events run on time.
Yeah. You would be just blown away.
Yeah.
Absolutely blown away. And it's sad to say, but it's the truth, man. And we let this nonsense go by. Nobody says anything because they're just looking for a fight.
Yeah. Stop look for quality fights, and especially for amateurs. Like you said, we're dealing with guys in the Carolinas. There's good promotions in the Carolinas, even if you have to go cross borders. Let's say Tennessee. Valor is a good promotion, I believe, out in Tennessee. Virginia has a couple of
NFC.
Yeah, if you want to go down to Georgia.
Georgia.
Virginia, even with some of the rules they have in Virginia, and some of the promotions even do stuff in high school gymnasiums. It's still a consistent schedule of fights.
Absolutely.
You know, they I don't say they do or don't cancel or postpone fights, but I don't think I've ever seen. And I'm thinking off the top of one of my head, I think it's Virginia Championship, something. They still have, you know, whenever they say they're going to have an event in September,
it happens.
They happen in September. It may be in a high school gymnasium, but you're still fighting. You're going up there and doing your work. So
absolutely,
you know,
and it's just not all the promotions are like that. It's just a couple in particular.
Yeah. Well, just one in particular that I'm thinking of. I didn't really watch the UFC fight last night as we're taping on. We'll watch it mess up now. I think it's the 24th was yesterday.
Yeah, today's 25th.
And it was the what I kept seeing around Facebook, and you know more too well about it. The weight cutting going on.
Yeah.
If you want to be a fighter,
Man, get ready because life is about to suck. You know, a lot of attention was drawn just because it was Cyborg.
Yeah.
And women do have a harder time cutting weight. I can admit that, Nicole. And it's just harder for women. But you want to talk about, like, Ricky Rainey posted something that he used to cut 20 to 30 pounds to make weight. I used to cut 40 to 50 pounds to make weight. It's something that we have to do. And people say, why are you cutting so much weight? Well, honestly, I don't want to fight at heavyweight. I'd be grossly undersized at heavyweight. Okay, when I walk around, now I don't walk around at 230, but now if I walked around at 230 training and
the rest of your day and days following feeling like crap.
oh man, yeah, like deep fried rhinoceros turd.
Is that even a thing?
I don't know.
It would,
Nobody should ever Google that.
and somebody will. And the little buzzer sound was telling us to shut the hell up. We got up to 50, I think, viewers on YouTube.
Yeah,
from the first.
and 3 thumbs up. One of them being
I was going to say, I don't thumbs up my stuff. And if you're listening on SoundCloud, I think that's what the app is. I'll post it, I guess. We got 1 like, and it wasn't from me.
Nah, I don't know how to use SoundCloud.
Yeah,
Awesome.
there you go.
Thank you.
That's an app, so we're...
And if you ever want to, suggest something to talk about, by all means, we're more than welcome to not do as much work as we already don't do. So
we're literally just move a table over here. There's 1 light, a camera, and I'm looking at you half blindly because I don't have my glasses on.
yeah, see, I can't do that.
Yeah. Well, it's been fun, Joe Pacheco.
Always,
Remember-
man. I look forward to this as the week goes by now.
Yeah.
And then eventually, once all this stuff starts to calm down, and like you hit it on earlier, with all the chaos that's going on in Charlotte, I do want to hit on it, but I want to hit on it when we have all the facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to come in half-cocked and say, red versus blue, blue versus yellow.
No,
all
you
that
don't want to do
stuff.
that in the first
So-
place. But we do know there needs to be more fights in Charlotte,
Oh,
respectively.
absolutely.
All right, I think that's going to do it.
Sanctioned fights, like in a cage, not on the street. That's
That's terrible. Well, I don't think this was terrible at all. So thank you very much, Joe Pacheco.
And hopefully you won't think it's terrible, whoever's listening out there, for all the 5 people that listened 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, they kept repeating because I sure as hell don't listen to us all the time because we're already doing it. We already listen to each other for going on now 25 minutes.
Yeah. And if you're just watching for the fro, I appreciate that.
Please freeze frame the fro and post it up somewhere online.
It's saying. It's magnificent.
That'll do it for us. We're wrapping it up. Thanks, everybody.
All right. We'll see you guys.